The sky above the death world darkened as massive ships appeared, blocking out the sun. These were no small groups of aliens. They were a large invading force, ready to take what they wanted by force. The stolen crystal's energy pulsed through the jungle, a beacon to all who sought power. Zorak stood on a rocky hill, looking at the approaching army. His face was hard, filled with determination and fear. "We came for treasure," he said quietly. "Now we must fight for our lives." Kale watched from the shadows with calm eyes. He was ready. The death world had survived for centuries because its warriors and guardians protected it fiercely. Today would be no different. The jungle stirred as ancient guardians awoke from their long sleep. These beings were half machine, half living creatures, made by the planet itself to defend its secrets. Their glowing eyes lit the dark forest as they moved silently toward the invaders. The first wave of the invading aliens landed with heavy boots and weapons raised. They moved fast, confident that their numbers would win the day. But the jungle fought back. Suddenly, vines thick as ropes sprang from the ground, wrapping around legs and arms. Giant insects the size of horses charged into the invaders. The air filled with the sounds of battle, roars, gunfire, and the cries of the dying. Led his small group in fighting, but the death world was more than just nature. Kale and the ancient guardians struck like shadows, cutting down aliens with deadly precision. The battle was brutal. The jungle itself seemed alive, moving and changing to protect its own. Zorak realized something terrible. The planet was not just defending itself. It was punishing the invaders for their greed and disrespect. In the thick of the fight, Kale spotted Zorak struggling against a group of enemies. With a swift move, Kale threw his spear, knocking one alien down and saving Zorak. Breathing heavily, Zorak looked at Kale. "You fight well," he said. "But this is not over." Kale shook his head. "You still don't understand. This land is alive. It does not forgive." Suddenly, a powerful roar echoed across the battlefield. From the shadows, a giant beast, larger and more terrifying than any before, appeared. It was a guardian born from the planet's deepest fears and rage. The beast charged at the aliens, crushing weapons and armor with its massive claws. Panic spread among the invaders. Many began to run, screaming for help. Zorak stood his ground, holding the glowing crystal tightly. "This power is mine," he shouted, but the crystal's energy turned against him. It burned his hands and filled his mind with images of destruction and pain. The planet was rejecting him. Kale stepped forward, calm and strong. "The crystal belongs to the death world. Your greed has doomed you." The giant beast lunged at Zorak, but Kale raised his spear, blocking the attack. The impact shook the ground. As the battle raged, more ancient guardians joined the fight. The jungle was alive with light and fury. One by one, the invading aliens fell or fled. Their ships retreated. Their mission failed. Zorak, wounded and broken, looked around at the destruction. He knew the death world had won. Kale stood tall, his eyes glowing with the planet's power. "This is the price of stealing from a Deathworlder," he said. The jungle grew silent again, the storm clouds breaking to reveal a pale sun. But the warning remained clear. The death world and its guardians would always fight to protect their own. The jungle was calm now. The storm had passed, and soft sunlight filtered through the thick trees. The battle was over. The once loud cries and gunfire had faded into silence. The death world had survived, but not without a cost. Zorak sat on a fallen log, his body weak and bruised. The glowing crystal lay shattered beside him. The power he had once wanted so badly was now a broken prize. He looked at Kale, the Deathworlder warrior, who stood tall and proud nearby. Kale's eyes were calm but full of warning. "You have learned your lesson," he said quietly. This planet is not for taking. It is for respecting. Zorik nodded. Slowly. I see now. We came for power, but found only pain. We should have listened. The other surviving aliens gathered, their faces tired and full of regret. The death world had shown them its strength, a strength born not just from weapons, but for respect, honor, and connection to the land. Kale stepped forward and placed a hand on Zorak's shoulder. The death world is alive. It protects those who protect it, but it punishes those who do not. The aliens promised to leave the planet and never return. They understood that some places in the galaxy were not meant to be conquered or stolen. From before they left, Kale showed them the hidden cave once more, not as a warning, but as a promise. If you respect this world, you may come in peace, but never as thieves. The aliens nodded, feeling a new respect for the strange planet and its fierce guardian Dot as their ships lifted off. Kale watched from the jungle edge. He knew the death world would always be ready to protect its own, not with anger, but with the silent strength of those who truly belong. The glowing crystals deep in the caves pulsed softly, a heartbeat of the planet itself. The message was clear. Never take what belongs to a Deathworlder. The aliens had learned the hard way. Some worlds are not for stealing, and the Deathworld would never forget. Hours passed in the quiet, medical bay of the space station. Outside, the battle had ended, leaving scars on the metal walls and broken ships scattered in the docking bays. But inside, the air was thick with tension and confusion. Kira sat quietly on a soft medical bed. Her wound, the one that should have killed her, was completely healed. The alien doctors stared at her in disbelief. They had never seen anything like it. Dr. Zell, the lead medic, walked around the room, his eyes glued to the monitors. The scans show no damage. Her cells have repaired themselves faster than any known healing process. One of the junior medics shook his head. But the healing machines were still running for hours. How did her body do this on its own? Kira remained calm but tired. She felt different, stronger, somehow connected to the energy of her home world. But she knew the medics would not understand. Dr. Zell asked gently, Kira, can you tell us what happened? How did you heal so fast? Kira looked at him, her eyes steady. I come from a death world. We live on planets where only the toughest survive. Our bodies learn to heal in ways others cannot. The medics exchanged confused glances. They had heard stories about Deathworlders, fierce warriors who survived impossible odds, but nothing. This real.vek, a skeptical scientist, spoke up. Are you saying your species has natural healing powers that defy biology? Kira nodded slowly. Yes, our blood, our cells, they fight death itself, but this power is not without cost. The medics leaned in, eager to learn more. Kira hesitated, then continued, every time we heal like this, it takes energy from deep inside us. If we use it too much, we can become weak, or worse. Dr. Zell looked troubled. Could it be dangerous to you? Kira sighed. Yes, but sometimes it is the only way to survive. The medics decided to run more tests. They scanned her body, looked for signs of injury or disease, but found nothing unusual. Kira's body seemed perfect, healed, and whole, but strange things began to happen on the station. Equipment nearby would flicker or shut down unexpectedly. Some medics reported feeling dizzy or uneasy when near Kira. Dr. Zell noted these incidents. Her healing power, or whatever it is, might be causing interference. We must be careful. Meanwhile, Kira kept her secret close. She trained quietly, preparing her body for whatever might come next. She knew the alien medics might not be the only ones interested in her strange ability. One evening, as Kira walked through the dim halls of the station, she overheard voices in a secure room. We cannot ignore this power. a cold voice said. If we control it, we control the outcome of every war. Another voice agreed. We must capture her. Study her. Use her strength. Kira's heart pounded. She realized danger was near. She had to decide, hide her power and trust these aliens, or run and protect herself. The story of Kira's impossible healing had only just begun, and shadows were gathering around her. The space station was no longer a place of safety for Kira. She felt eyes watching her every move. Whispering voices filled the corridors, and shadows seemed to follow her wherever she went. The alien medics who once cared for her now looked uncertain, and some hid secrets behind their calm faces. Kira knew she had to share the truth, but only with someone she could trust. One night, she found Dr. Zell alone in the lab, working late under the soft glow of holographic screens. Dr. Zell, Kira said quietly, I will tell you what you must know, but you must promise to keep it safe. Dr. Zell nodded solemnly. You have my word. Kira took a deep breath. I am a Deathworlder, born on planets that are harsh and deadly. The air can poison you, the storms can tear your skin, and the creatures ... They want to kill anything that moves. She paused, her eyes distant as memories flooded back. To survive, my people evolved. Our bodies learned to heal quickly, to fight infection and injury faster than any alien technology. The doctor listened carefully as Kira explained more. Our blood carries special cells that repair wounds from the inside out. We can recover from injuries that would kill others in minutes or hours. But it comes with a price. Dr. Zell frowned. What price? If we use this power too often, Kira said, it drains our energy and life force. Too much healing can weaken us, cause pain, and sometimes even shorten our lives. Dr. Zell was amazed. It is like a natural medicine and a curse at the same time. Kira nodded. Yes, that is why Deathworlders are rare. Not many survive. The hardships of our worlds or the burden of our healing. The doctor looked around nervously. But why hide this power? Why not share it with others? Because, Kira said softly, many would want to use it for war, for control. If the wrong people learn this secret, they could turn it into a weapon, hurting innocent lives. Suddenly, the lab door hissed open. A group of alien officers stepped inside, their faces cold and hard. Dr. Zell, the lead officer said, we have orders to bring Kira for study. Her abilities could change the balance of power in the galaxy. Kira's heart raced. She looked at Dr. Zell, who hesitated but stepped aside. Kira knew she had to act fast. She turned and sprinted through the corridors, her Deathworlder instincts kicking in. She ducked into maintenance shafts, climbed ladders, and slipped through narrow vents, all places she had seen during her short stay on the station. The officers pursued, but Kira's speed and agility made her a difficult target. She felt the strange energy of her healing power flow inside her, ready to protect her when she needed it most. As she escaped deeper into the station, she remembered the words her mother once told her on their harsh home planet. The strongest do not always win, but the clever and the brave survive. Kira was both. She would survive, but the chase had only begun. Kira ran through the dark halls of the space station, her heart pounding. Every step echoed against the cold metal walls. The officers were close behind, their boots heavy and determined. She could hear their shouts, their orders to catch her alive. But Kira was faster. Her body healed quickly from the strain of running. Every injury, every pain faded in moments. She was a Deathworlder, born on a planet where only the strongest survived. Her natural healing power was her greatest weapon. Back in the medical bay, the alien doctors whispered in small groups. Their faces were pale, their eyes wide with fear. Dr. Zell paced the room, deep in thought. This power, it is unlike anything we have ever seen, he said quietly. If others learn of it, they will want to control it or destroy it. Vec, a younger medic, nodded. It could change everything: healing, war, even the balance of power in the galaxy. But it is dangerous, Dr. Zell warned. Too much use could kill Kira, and if she falls into the wrong hands, ... The doctors argued. Some wanted to protect Kira and help her control her power. Others feared the risk and wanted to contain her, or worse. Kira, meanwhile, found a small group of allies, aliens who respected her and believed in peace. They helped her hide, gave her supplies, and shared information about the station. But danger was always near. The alien officers grew more aggressive, increasing patrols and searching every corner. One night, Kira overheard a plan. The officers wanted to trap her in the central control room, a place with no escape. She had to move quickly. Using her Deathworlder skills, Kira set traps and distractions. She used the environment to her advantage, shutting doors, cutting power, and confusing her pursuers. When the officers arrived at the control room, they found it empty, except for Kira's message. "You cannot catch what you do not understand," it read. The officers were furious, but cautious. They knew Kira was not ordinary. Her healing was beyond science, and her survival instincts were unmatched. Back in the hidden base, Kira trained. She learned to control her healing power, to use it without hurting herself. But she knew the time would come when she would have to face her enemies directly. The alien medics' fear grew. They realized this power could not be contained or studied easily. The galaxy was changing, and Kira was at the center of it all. Kira's life on the space station had changed completely. She was no longer just a warrior. She was now a hunted target. The alien officers sent squads after her, desperate to capture her and control the mysterious power inside her. But Kira was smart and fast. She knew the station's hidden paths better than anyone. She moved through narrow tunnels, ventilation shafts, and abandoned corridors, always staying one step ahead. That her healing power helped her recover quickly from small injuries during the chase. Cuts, bruises, even burns. They disappeared before. They could slow her down. The officers grew frustrated. "How can she keep escaping?" one shouted. "She's like a ghost." One special team was sent, trained in hunting dangerous targets. They used drones, scanners, and advanced weapons. But Kira's instincts and Deathworlder strength made her nearly impossible to catch. Along the way, Kira met a small group of aliens who did not want war. They believed in peace and freedom. They hid her, fed her, and shared stories of their own struggles. Together, they planned a way to end the chase. Kira knew she could not run forever. She needed to face her pursuers and show them that her power was not a weapon for war, but a gift of survival. One night, as the station's lights flickered, Kira prepared for the final stand. Her allies stood beside her, ready to help. The officers closed in, moving through the corridors with heavy steps and shining weapons. The battle was fierce. Kira fought with all her strength, using her healing power to stay strong, even when hurt. Her enemies were skilled, but they could not match her will. The chase ended with the officers retreating, realizing they could not control what they did. Not understand. Kira stood tall, breathing hard but victorious. She had survived the impossible, but she knew her journey was far from over. The galaxy had seen her power, and now they would watch closely. The space station was quiet now. The battle was over. The chasing had stopped. But the memory of the fight stayed in the hearts of everyone. Kira stood on the observation deck, looking at the stars beyond the glass. Her body was tired but strong. The deadly injury that once should have ended her life was now only a distant memory. She had healed, not just physically, but inside too. The alien medics came to her, no longer with fear, but with respect. Dr. Zell stepped forward. Kira, you have shown us something amazing. Your power is beyond our science. It teaches us that life can survive in ways we never imagined. Kira nodded. The death world teaches us to be strong, to heal, and to keep going, even when all seems lost. The medics asked, will you teach us? Will you share this gift? Kira smiled gently. My healing is a part of me and my people. It is not just power. It is a bond with my world. I cannot give it away, but I can teach. Respect for life. The alien leaders realized that they could not control or use Kira's power as a weapon. Instead, they needed to learn from it, to respect the strength of others and the life around them. Kira made a promise. She would protect her people and her home worlds. She would not run or hide anymore, but she would also work for peace, so no one would have to suffer as she had as her ship left the station. Kira looked back one last time. The stars were bright, full of promise and danger. She knew the galaxy was a bigger place than she ever dreamed, and she was ready. The lesson was clear. True strength is not just in weapons or machines, but in the spirit to survive, to heal, and to respect life, even in the deadliest worlds. The aliens would never forget the Deathworlder, who healed from a fatal injury alone.